Hello, and once again, thank you so much for joining me. Apologies for the sunglasses, but I really wanted to get out and record outside while it's lovely and sunny, but I can't without the tears. And I don't want you to think I'm crying. So, the sunglasses. I kidded myself that I'm just off to a wonderful beach with a big sun umbrella and somebody coming and serving me drinks on a tray and nibbles on a platter. Well, I can dream, can't I? So I want to talk a little bit about revenge. There's a saying, revenge is sweet. I'm not sure on that one. For some, revenge is essential. For others, revenge is something that they don't even consider, so it's very much a personal choice. For me, it sort of begins in childhood, and with the stamping of the foot, it's not fair. Why are you making me do that? Why did I have to? Why should I? And maybe they never grow out of that. Maybe a little talk from a parent, a couple of lessons at school might have helped along the way. So there are other words that we can use for revenge. Good old one is comeuppance. I hope they get their comeuppance. Something that the speaker feels is their due. Or maybe some see it as a form of karma. If wrong has been done to them, then if there is wrong done to the person who wronged them, I'm getting a lot of wrongs there, that it's a form of karma, whether instigated personally or not. Who's to say? But it's, for me, revenge is a lot deeper. It's something that grabs the person who seeks it. It dominates their thoughts, and they cannot let go memories of a wrongdoing or even a perceived wrongdoing from a long time ago. And if they find themselves in the position of being able to get that revenge, they do it with bells, whistles, and great triumph. I'm not quite sure if I can say anything positive about that person who feels that that's the way to be. It's a rather sad way to be in some ways. To carry on with a grudge for so very long when that grudge may possibly have been that the person was just using free speech, voicing their opinions, but they weren't the opinions held by the seeker of the revenge. Revenge can at times be sweet. It can be sweet, from my point of view, that is, when you can take someone down by proving them wrong when they belittled you without you doing anything. They give you a kick in the pants that you needed to turn things around by their comments. It's much more subtle and much more long-lasting. And for me, I asked someone who used to be very close, had they read any of my blogs when I still had my website up and running. I don't read tut like that. And that really hurt and upset me, because this was someone that I had supported in many ways. But tongue was bitten and they had their say. But it's quite a few years ago and it's still stuck with me. But I now do occasionally think, well, look at my channel supported by you lovely subscribers, members, viewers, and that gives me such a feeling of satisfaction and yes, because in both cases, both my blogs and my videos, they were designed to help people and also to give them a bit of a chuckle, a bit of a giggle at times. But again, helping. So without me saying anything, and I would never ask them, have they watched any of my videos? I don't really want to know. But for me, that's a kind of karma. I wouldn't call it comeuppance. I wouldn't call it revenge. They were perfectly entitled to their opinion. And there's an old saying, if you don't want to hear the answer, don't ask the question. So I had asked the question. And in no uncertain terms, I got the answer. So remember that. Do these trousers look too tight on me? Well, actually, yes, they make your backside look much bigger. If you don't want to know, don't ask. But what about this revenge thing? I find it scary when somebody is so driven by revenge. Personal affront has been taken, umbrage has been taken, and that has never left them. It must be boiling around inside them. Oh, well, they did that, they said that. How dare they? That's not what I think. That's not the way it should be, because the way it should be is what I think, what I believe. Scary. Very scary. How much better to be able to listen to opinions. Okay, not always agree with them, but listen, take on board, and try and understand how others feel, what hurdles others are facing, others who are not in a position to do, say, have the things that you do, or even those who are in a position to have, do, and say an awful lot more than you have or do. We're all different, we're all unique, but sadly, revenge comes with not just a bucketful, a whole great swimming pool full of negativity. And that can't be good for people to carry around with them. Certainly not sweet. On that note, I shall go and get something to drink, but first of all, I am going to ensure that the pigeons who have been flying in with twigs to the tree that they are not supposed to build a nest in, because last year I lost all of the plants underneath it because of their droppings. There's trees galore for them to build in, but they like that one. So on I go. I would never hurt them, but I do sort of shake the branches and tell them, go to one of the other trees. Sadly, I don't speak pigeon or pigeon English. On that note, take care. Think of where you stand. Do you seek karma, comeuppance, or revenge? Or does it depend on circumstances? Thank you for joining me. Take care, and I will speak to you soon. Bye for now. Bye.